Hello everyone, Barb here from barbaderholt.closetomyheart.com. Today I am working on putting together a couple of scrapbook layouts. A super simple way to put some pages together. The photos that I'm using on here were photos from my oldest's, I think, 7th grade Spanish project, and he had to do a Mi Familia kind of a layout. And he's grown up, moved away, left the project behind, so I scraped the pictures off and I have them here to put in a 2-page spread. I am using one of my favorite one-sheet wonder methods. This is one piece of cardstock. It was a 12 by 12 and I cut off a piece that's 4 inches wide and then a piece that's 2 inches wide. This is the same paper, just opposite sides. And then I did the same for the other 12 by 12 layout. My 12 by 12 base page is a piece of white daisy cardstock. So the first thing I want to do is start adhering these pieces of pattern paper. And here I am. A little bit of tape runner to attach these. And that leaves me some nice white space. You could also use a colored cardstock, whatever you happen to have on hand. Our pattern paper works beautifully for this technique because it is two-sided, and most of the time the two sides will work together. I am going to glue these pictures down. The other thing I did do is I took the zip strip that was along the whole 12 by 12 piece of pattern paper and I cut that off, that little 1/2 inch bonus. The other side has the name of our company, Close to My Heart, and the year. It has different information on it, what colors of cardstock are meant to coordinate with the card, the kit that the paper pack is a part of. I am just not wasting it, and I am gluing it up at the top just to give a little bit of something up there. And then I have these photos which came off of the family Spanish. Oh, I remember working on it. I helped Curtis. He did most of the work. I just provided the paper and all the things because I was a scrapbooker and a card maker. I had letter sets to punch out those big, fat, chunky letter sets. I had that, so that's one page done. I did collect a few. These are a banner shape. This one is called Pennant Thin Cuts, and then this big round piece is actually from our spinner thin cut. I thought it was fun, so I'm going to put it on here in a way that hides the hole. I did use this banner, so we'll stick that on there. And let's do this. This is peach, and we've got some smoothie, and I think this is green apple. And I'm leaving that hang off the edge. I will take my big long scissors here, if I can get them out without making a big old clank. You flip it over, use the 12 by 12 piece of cardstock as your guide and just trim alongside it. And there. I think that looks really nice. Okay. In the middle, in between, there were other photos. So what I am doing is using one of our Pocket Plus pages. And I cut some cardstock. I'm using espresso because that's that was what was in this other paper. And let's see here. I think I've got it upside down. So I'm slipping this in. And I have some notes here because I had labeled the photos back in the day, and I want to be able to document. So I put some pieces of pattern paper. This pattern paper came from a mix-in. I think the mix-in was in the last catalog, the January, February of 2021. It may or may not be available, but this technique is easily replicated with any of our pattern paper because it's dual-sided. I love this. It talks about family and all of that on there, so I thought that was really cool. And I have these notes so that I can document here. I don't have that ready to go today, but I will get that information transferred. That is a big part of the beauty of it. Telling the story is wonderful, and I think I will spend a little time talking about, let's see, I'm going to spend some time talking about the whole process of Curtis making this project, because it was a process. And we talked, I remember at the time talking about what kids in his class do who don't have moms who scrapbook or make cards or have any of these supplies. And I remember hearing moms talking about having to run to the store to buy this and buy that. And so I remember talking with my oldest about how lucky he was that we didn't have to do that we had everything we needed to put together a display. And always the night before. Always the night before. It never failed. We were putting this together last minute. But it was okay, because we didn't have to make a trip into town to go to the store to buy all the goodies. And we just got to enjoy the process and just got to be home and didn't have the stress of having to chase into town. And this is not a fancy layout by any stretch of the imagination, but it's going together nicely and in a quick way, and it gets the photos preserved, and there is a little bit of family story there. And this was a process that was repeated with all of my children. So there we go. And I have these notes here. This is so I can transfer that information. But that puts all those photos, and that will go in between the 2-page layout. So this layout will be here, and this layout can flip over like that. So the other side is a mirror image of the first layout. So again, with my 4x12 paper, then my 2x12 complementary other side strip. And this is my ATG gun that I use when I'm doing big scrapbooking stuff. And here's that other part of the zip strip. And you can see where it lists the different colors that will coordinate with the paper pack. And I'll stick that up at the top. And it just adds a little something something. These photos I cut down just a little bit. We'll give just a hair of white space between them. And I do want to put a little note that that was 2003. And that's it. That's all there is to it. So you've got 2-page layout, and I'll show you what those look like next to each other. You can certainly do more. I will probably bring in some of these colors on this page just to tie that in. But it's good enough, and it's almost done. And I love that. So then you've got this that'll flip in between. And that's it. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope this gives you some ideas on how to deal with some of those odd pictures that you have sprinkled through your stuff. Have a blessed crafty day, and I'll see you next time.